Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Hunt. I'm here to talk to you about the area of composite figures today. All right. Previously, it says at the top, previously, we knew how to find the area of rectangles, triangles, and trapezoids. Now we need to know how to find the area of composite figures. To find the area of a composite figure, we have to decompose it into smaller shapes. So I'm going to give you large shapes that you have to break down into smaller shapes and find the area of the smaller shapes and add them all together. Or it says we can also expand the figure to create a larger familiar shape. We find the area of the larger shape and then subtract the area of the smaller shapes from it. So here we go. So we worked on the area of squares and rectangles. The area is length times width. This one is 5 times 4, which is 20 centimeters squared. Don't forget the area is centimeter. That is always a unit squared, okay? Now, the next one, triangles. Triangle is always base times height. Do not forget that you have to divide it by 2. So here we go. This was the base, okay? Every triangle has a height. The height goes straight up and down. This is the height, and then it's base times height divided by 2, or base times 1/2 times base times height, okay? 1/2 times base times height. So the base is 18. The height is 6. 1/2 times 18 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54 units squared. Okay, here we go. Keep going. We learned about the area of parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is just area equals base times height. Please do not confuse that with the area of a triangle. A triangle has to be 1/2 times base times height, or base times height divided by 2, or 0.5 times base times height. So we have 3 formulas for the triangle. You can go back and look at those. For this lesson, I think we'll be using 1/2 times base times height. All of them are the same pretty much, and we talked about that earlier. Okay, the area of a parallelogram is just base times height. So here is your base. The base is the bottom, and you're looking for the perpendicular, and the height goes straight up and down. Perpendicular, remember, it deals with that 90-degree angle. It's kind of like a T, okay? Okay, now let's keep going. Base trapezoid, the area of a trapezoid, you need to have the following things for a trapezoid. You need 2 bases. They are always parallel to each other, and it's the total length of this line plus the total length of that line. This would be base 1, that would be base 2. It does not matter which one you call base 1 or base 2. Then the height goes straight up and down. The height is perpendicular to the 2 parallel lines. So remember, these are the 2 parallel lines. We talked about parallel, okay? And perpendicular is the line that connects the 2 parallel lines. So these are your bases in red. This is your height in blue. Area equals 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2. Add those together and times it by the height. So in this one, the top base is 3, the bottom base is 11. 3 plus 11 is 14. 14 over 1 times 1/2 gives you 14 over 2. 14 over 2 is a division problem. 14 over 2 is basically 7, and 7 times 7 is 49. So as you can see here, the area of this shape is 49 units squared. So today we're going to look at everything we learned, and we're going to use decomposition, or you can make it larger and subtract the smaller. So I could do this 2 ways. I could actually make this a large rectangle and then subtract the smaller rectangle that's missing here from it. So I can say, oh, this rectangle, which is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it a different way. So I can actually do this. I can actually make this a large rectangle. So this one will be 18 because the length is 15 and the width is 18. 18 times 15, find out what that is, and then subtract it from this little bitty piece right here, okay? So I know that this piece is 8, but this piece right here is not 5. What's actually 5 is from here to here. So if this is 5, let's look at this. If this is 5, and from here to here would be 5 as well, then that means this has to be 8 minus 5, which is 3, this little bit piece right here. So that means this is actually 3 right here, okay? So 8 times 3 is 24. So 15 times 8 minus 8 times 3 will give me the area of this total shape, because this is not there. But I'm not going to do it this way. What I'm actually going to do here, it looks like I've messed up. Hold on. Yeah, I think I did. I see a mistake that I made already. So here we go. No, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to look at this and say, oh, you know what? I think I have two shapes here. So I'm going to make a line here and do it like that. Bam. So I have one rectangle here, and I'm going to highlight it in blue. Okay, I have one rectangle there, and then I have another rectangle right here. Okay, and then I'm going to add those shapes together. So this one, first of all, I know that this total length is 15. And this little part right here is 8. But from here, so that means from here to here has to be 15. So that means from here to here has to be 15. So 8 plus what will give me 15? Look at that. 8, this is 8. So that means from here to here has to be 8. But what is from here to here? If from here to here is 8, because from here to there is 8, then there to there has to be 8. So what plus 8 gives me 15? 7. So that actually means that this little piece right here is 7. Okay? 8 plus 7 gives you 15. That means the length from here to right there is 15. That means from here to here is 15 as well. So here we go. This triangle, this rectangle right here is 8 times 5. I got that right there. 8 times 5 is 40. This rectangle right here has a length of 8, but has a width of 7, okay? 8 times 7 is 56. That's right here. So 8 times 7 plus 8 times 5, you get 56 plus 40. You wind up with 96 meters squared. That means that the answer should be B. Answer is B, 96 meters squared, okay? So either break it up into two smaller shapes, or make it one big large shape and subtract the smaller shape, okay? So here we go. For most of mine, I think I like just breaking up into two smaller shapes. Now, here we go. Okay, looking at this, what are the two shapes that you see? I see three shapes. I see that I could make this two rectangles and a triangle, but I don't want to do that. I also see a rectangle and a trapezoid. You're like, okay, Mr. Hunt, how do you see a rectangle and a trapezoid? Go right here, get my nice little red marker here, and come straight down. Bam, there we go. So here is my rectangle. Notice it has a length of 3 and 3 width or length and 4 width or length here, 4 times 3. So the area of this rectangle is 4 times 3. That will be 12 centimeters squared. But let's look at this trapezoid. Remember the formula of trapezoid. Every trapezoid, so let's look at the trapezoid. Hold on. Here's the trapezoid. I'm going to highlight it in blue. Bam, 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 bam. Now here's the trick. This length from here all the way to here is 13. Okay? That's 13. Okay, but that is not the length of this trapezoid. The trapezoid stops right here. So if this is 3 and that's 13, then that means this little bit right here has to be 3 as well, right there. So from here to here is 3. So from there to there has to add up to 13. So what would that be? That means from here to here has to be 10. Okay. This is 10. I'm going to try to make that a 10. So 3 plus 10 does give you 13. So the base of base 2 is actually 10. Right here, look, base 2 is 10. Base 1 is 7. Okay, so you have to be able to look at these shapes and figure out, okay, this 13 is the total distance from this tip to that tip. That is not the distance from here to there. Okay, but I do know the distance is from here to, I know the distance from here to here is 3. So if this is 3, then this right here has to be 3. And that means that this right here has to add up to 13. 3 plus whatever this is gives me 13. That means that this bit right here has to be 10. So look, base 1 is 7. Base 2 is 10. Add them together, you get 17. 17 times 1/2 is messed up here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have a problem here. Yep. I'm looking at it already. Mr. Hunt made a big error here. I do make mistakes sometimes. Here we go. If you have seen it, I hope you've seen it. If you saw it first, let me know. I want you to type it to me into the thing right here. 7 plus 10 is 17. Okay. So this should be 1/2 times 17. Okay. times 8. 1/2 times 17 is this, okay? So now 17 times 1/2 will give me, what is that? 8 times 2 is 16, so that'd be 16.5. And then it will be 16.5 times 8. So I'm about to give you the area of this right now. This should be 16.5 times 8. 16.5 times 8 gives me 132, okay? So this is going to be, let's do this. Here we go. Did I do that right? Yeah, let's see. I'm going to write this over here, okay? So really it should be 1/2 times 17 over 1 times 8 over 1, okay? Got it? 8 over 1, okay? So that would be 17 divided by 2, 8.5. It's 8.5. 8.5 times 8. The height is 8. Okay, I got to talk about that as well. Oh, yeah. How did you get a height of 8, Mr. Hunt? Let me explain that real fast. Let's look at this. I'm going to use yellow here. I did not show you how I got the height. Let me show you. So I know from here to here is 4. So let's put that right there is 4, okay? I know from here to here is 4. So that means the height goes from here of this trapezoid goes from here to there. So this will be the height of that trapezoid. That means it will be 4 plus 4, okay? So the height of the trapezoid is 8. That's how I get 8 for my height, okay? So it's 17 divided by 2, which is 8.5, times 8, which will give me 68, okay? So this right here, I'm going to erase this. Well, I can't erase it because it's already in. So this should be 68, okay? So it is 12 plus 68. That will give you total area of 80. And I'm going to put the cm here. So I made an error here. So this should be cm squared, okay? Now, okay, so this answer should be 80 centimeters squared. Let's keep going. Remember, sometimes you got to look at it to figure out what the height would be. The height of this trapezoid is not 4. It's letting you know the length from here to here is 4, and the length from there to there is 4. Then you have to add this length plus that length right there, okay? Cool. Let's keep going. So this right here is all wrong. Let me cross this out and cross that out, okay? Cool. It should be 68 plus 12. 68 plus the 12 that's right here, plus 12. That gives you a total of 80, okay? Good. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. This is a tricky one. This one looks like I see, well, first of all, what do you see? Well, looking at this, I would say, Mr. Hunt, I would want to break this up into a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, now, if I'm going to do that, then first of all, I need to know the area of my rectangle. Rectangle, I'm looking for the length and I'm looking for the width. Cool. So let's look at that. It looks like my length is 12. Looks like my width is 4. So it's 12 times 4. My rectangle is 12. Here's my rectangle. 12 times 4. Right here, you'll see that it says 48. So let me get there real fast. Let me zoom up a little bit. There we go. Now, 12 times 4 is 48. So there, the rectangle is 48 meters squared. Now, this is going to be tricky. I need to know every triangle has a height and it has a base, okay? So what is the height? What is the base? Okay, well, let's look at this, Mr. Hunt. I have this 8 here. They're letting me know that the distance from here all the way up to there is 8. But that's not the height of my triangle. My triangle starts here, yes, but it goes all the way. It stops right there. 8 starts here and go all the way down. So this length from the tip all the way down to the bottom is 8. But that's not the height of my triangle. But I do know, let me put in a different color. If this is 4, and from here all the way down to here has to be 8 based off of this right here. This is 8. So if this is 8 and this is 4, then what does that make that? That means, Mr. Hunt, that from here to here has to be 4. Okay, 4 plus 4 gives me 8. So that means the height of my triangle is 4. Okay, so my height of my triangle, h equals 4. Okay, Mr. Hunt, since you want to be a smarty pants, go ahead and tell me what is the base of your triangle. Okay, well, let's look at this. The base of my triangle, let me use a different color here, goes from here to here in yellow. Okay, well, I don't know what that is. I do know that from here to here is 12. I do know that this part right here is 3 and that part right there is 3. So from here all the way to here has to be 12. From here all the way to here has to be 12 because from here all the way to here is 12. Okay, so what is 12 minus 3 minus 3? That's 6, Mr. Hunt. That means that the base of my triangle is 6. From here to here is 6. Let's look at this. 3 plus 6 plus 3. 3 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. That means that this is 12, okay? So that means that my height is 4 and my base is 6, okay? My base is 6, okay? So area of triangle, don't forget the times 1/2. 1/2 times base times height. So right here, 1/2 times a base of 6 times a height of 4 gives me 6 over 1 times 1 over 2 turns into 3. And 3 times 4 is 12. So my total area is the area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle. That is 48 plus 12. That gives me 60 centimeters squared. That means that my answer here should be D. Okay, if you are confused by this, don't hesitate to go back and watch the video again. Sometimes watching it again will help you understand my explanations for how I came up with some of the things that I did. Okay, I'm always extrapolating or looking at one side to compare it to the other side. If I know that this total line is 10, if my total length from the bottom of my hand to the top of my hand is 10, then I can say, okay, if that's 10, what is this? Okay, and so let's say this is 4. Then if this is 4, what am I going to add here to make it 10? That will be 6. 4 plus 6 will give me 10 because the total length is 10. Okay, so some of the things that I do, okay, in my mind. I always want you guys to know how I'm thinking so you guys can now use that in your own way of your own understanding so you can now teach yourself. Here we go. I'm looking at some shapes here, just some interesting shapes, and I'm not gonna calculate the area. I'm just gonna break these down for you. So here's a shape right here. It looks like I see a triangle and a rectangle. Okay, I see a rectangle is 6 times 4. That's the area of that triangle. Now remember, that is not the area, that's the area of this rectangle, but that is not the area of the triangle. The triangle has to have a base. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, oh, okay, has to have a base. Well, you're letting me know that this is 2. You let me know that this is 4. So that means if this is 2 and that's 4, then look what it's saying. It's saying that this is the total base. So what is 2 plus 4? That is what? 6. That's letting me know the base of my triangle is 6. Okay, cool, Mr. Hunt. I'm looking at the triangle differently. Now, if you want to make this the base, you can. You want to make that the height, you can. I'm making this my base and that my height, okay? It does not matter. It does not matter. You can make this the base, okay? If you want to make that the base, do it. This could be your base. This could be your height, okay? I'm making this my base and that my height. All of it is going to be times 1/2 anyway. 1/2 times base times height, okay? Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and change that. I'm going to make that my height, okay? I don't want to confuse you guys. So I'm going to make this my height. My height, I just figured out what my height is now. My height is 6. Okay, now, so I need to know what this bottom is. Okay, well, Mr. Hunt, let's see what we got. We know that the total length of this line from one side to the other side is 14. 14, I'm sorry. 14, all right? Cool. So from here to here is 14. We also know that from here to here is 6. Okay, so what number? 6 plus, so that means from here to here has to be 6. Okay, because from here to here is 6. So 6 plus what will give me 14? Who got it? Who got it? Who got it? 8. Okay, 6 plus 8. That means that this right here has to be 8, okay? That is 8. Got it? That's 8. So this triangle has a base of 8. Got it. I'm not going to calculate anything. I'm using 1/2 base, 1/2 base of 8 times the height of 6, 2 plus 4, 6. And then I'm using the area of the rectangle, which is 6 times 4. Okay, let's move on to another one real fast. I'm not giving you the area. I'm just showing you how I'm breaking down some shapes. This, I can say, oh, okay, maybe I could break this down in so many ways. I could break it down here. Now I have 2 rectangles, okay? Or I can erase that and break it down here, okay? I like that one. The reason I like that one because now I have a rectangle and a square looks like. So let's be for sure here. So Mr. Hunt, if I need to know this is a square, I know this right here is 6, but how do I find out what that is? Well, you know this is 6, and you know the total length of that line is 12, okay? So what is this little bitty piece right here? If from here to here is 12, then what's from here to here? It has to be 12 as well. From here to here has to be 12 because from here to here is 12. So if this is 6, then 6 plus what will give you a total length of 12? 6. So that little bitty piece right there is 6. So 6 times 6 is the area of this rectangle. And then this is 6 times 20. 6 times 20 is the area of that rectangle. This square is 6 times 6. This one is 20 times 6, okay? Let me highlight this so you can see it. Here is the length of my rectangle. Here is the width, okay? Or the length or width, whichever one you call it, okay? Now, for my square, let me go back. Here is one side of my square. Here is the other side. So that's 6 by 6, okay? Okay? I'm looking over here. I know that this is 12. So if I know this is 12 and I know this is 6, then that means this distance plus that distance put me all the way over here. So from here to here is 12 because from here to here is 12, okay? So if this is 6, 6 plus what will give me 12? 6 plus 6, okay? That's just some of the things I'm doing here, okay? Let me look at another shape here. Looks like here, this I'm going to make in a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, cool, Mr. Hunt, that's cool. Well, what's your base of your triangle? Well, the base of the triangle is the bottom of the triangle. This is my base, okay? So if that's the base, then what is the length of that base? Well, it looks like the length of that base is the same length as that. So the base of my triangle has to be 3.3. So this triangle has a base of 3.3. Okay, good, Mr. Hunt. But how do you find the height? Well, that's going to be tricky, but I can also find that. I do know, let's see what we know. I know that this distance all the way up to here is 9.9. And I know this distance from here to here is 5.4. Okay, this is 9.9, this is 5.4. Then this plus whatever that has to be 9.9. So I'm going to draw a line here. That means from here to here has to this distance plus that distance add up to 9.9. Okay, so so this height of my triangle, this is my base right here, but this is my height. So my height has to be 9. Wow, that's ugly. I'm sorry, hold on, give me a second here. Make sure I got enough time. Let's see, here we go. Okay. It looks like my height is going to be whatever 9.9 is minus 5.4. 9.9 subtracted from 5.4. Okay. It looks like I'm running out of space here. Okay. But 9.9 minus 5.4, that will be the height of the triangle, okay? Now, your rectangle look like it's going to be 3.3 times 5.4, but the triangle is going to be whatever 9.9 minus 5.4 is, and your base is going to be 3.3, okay? So that's all that I have for you today. You have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, okay? You're going to have to extrapolate. You're going to have to decompose the shape and then look at what one side is to know what the other side has to be, okay? That's how you do this, okay? Good luck with this. I miss you guys. Looking forward to what we're going to learn tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting. Also, there are some people I wanted to shout out. I had a lot of names. Let me see if I can find those names. I had a lot of people shout out. Man, it was a lot of names. Where are my names? Oh, I don't have them. I'm sorry. I'll give you a shout out in the lesson tomorrow, but I may try to type it into the instructions, a shout out. Okay. But I've been getting a lot of calls from certain people. Always hearing from Nakia. Always hearing from Akila Stapleton, Nakia Morris. Hearing from a lot of other people. Been hearing from Breeze. Been hearing from who else? Tristan was calling me. Heard from Jair. I'm getting some interesting questions as well. I've been noticing that people like Mr. Adams, Mercutio Adams, been doing excellent. Ava's been doing excellent. Brenda's been doing excellent. Jasmine's been doing good work. Shamira's been doing good work. I'm just calling out a few that's on the top of my mind right now because for some strange reason, oh, I got it. Sorry, here we go. I found my list. Or is this the same list from yesterday? Okay, my list says that exit tickets, Mercutio, Tyler, Jayana, Jamari, Miss Banks, Miss Stapleton, Miss Asia, Ava, and Miss Escobar. Okay. Independent practice, my list says Shamira, Tyler, Alyssa, Jamari, Miss Banks, Miss Escobar, Miss Asia, Miss Ava, Calvin, and Jasmine as well. Okay. But just shout out to some of those people. I'll start listing out some more shout outs. Okay. Okay. I wish you guys the best of luck. If you have any questions, don't forget you can submit them in the Google Classroom. All right. God bless you guys. Have a good evening. All right. Bye.